Hi, traders. Happy Wednesday. As always, I'm hoping that this message finds you all well, finds you all safe at home, hopefully, not like some of the people walking around here. And hopefully, most of you are profitable today. Now, listen, that's good coffee. It's like 91 degrees here in South Florida, so still doesn't stop me from having coffee, but it's really, really hot here. There's my little old cup there. Love it. Love that little old thing. Well, listen, I want to show you my trading today. But before I do that, I want to take you to a certain point in my past. This is interesting because my trading today reminded me of something really somewhat comical in a way. As most of you know, I started my professional career in 1986, but something pivotal happens in my career in 1991, 1992. And it's when I decided to buck with convention. You see, up until that particular point, it was common knowledge that you don't trade the open, that the open is too volatile, the open is too uncertain, and the open lacked a certain degree of what they call institutional sponsorship, very active institutions trading. So for the most part, the vast majority of the professional world traded 15, 20, even 30 minutes after the market opened. They felt they had this idea, they had this philosophy that the steam for the market would gradually develop over time, over 20, 30, 40 minutes, and that once the market was in full steam, it was safer to actually start actively trading from a short-term perspective. So in 1991, 1992, in that area, I decided to buck with convention. I decided to go the other way. I'll never forget it. This one particular day, I saw an opportunity that I would take very aggressively later in the day, but it's happening right off the open. So I took it, and I put a lot of money into it. And so the score, the win, was so big that my superiors at the time gave me leeway to do it again. And I did it again and again and again. And so to make a long story short, I became known at the firm as the 20-minute man. Now, at that particular time, there was this really very popular book. It was still popular. It was popular in the 80s and into the early 90s called The 20-Minute Manager. Well, they took the theme of that book and called me the 20-minute trader. And that became my nickname. And so the popularity of my approach, making just as much money in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the trading day as most traders were making all day long, began to spread on the street. Wall Street's a very small community. This popularity gave me the gumption to start my own firm. That firm was called Pristine Capital Management in September of 1994. And when I started that firm, many of the firms that had heard about what I was doing at my firm, now that I had my own firm, started sending their traders to me so that I could train them in this specific approach. Now remember, no one really did this. No one even knew what it was called. I began calling it a form of day trading, and people were saying, like, what is that? What's day trading? It's really an interesting part of my history. But that was a very pivotal turn in my professional career, 1991, 1992. And it is my bucking with tradition at the firm that led me to starting my own company, and which led me to become one of the most recognized traders in the world at that particular time. So really interesting. So with that being said, I want to show you what I did in the first 14 minutes of the trading day. Now, I want to also mention the fact that I, in my retirement, do not trade anything like I used to trade during the height of my professional career. I mean, back then, I traded as much as an $80 million account. I'm not trading an $80 million account now, of course. So the levels are different. So I was scoring in a very, very big way. Now, I'm going to show you what I scored today in the first 14 minutes of the trading day. And this is an example of what I used to do back in the old days when I would come out of the blocks and actually finish my day 15, 20 minutes later before most of the traders in my firm would actually start their day. Now, my Entire profits for today was slightly over $16,000, but in the first 14 minutes of the trading day, I'm going to show you how I pulled out $14,000. Try to take a look carefully, try to glean some clues as to what concepts I'm using in each one of these three trades to make this $14,000. Take a look.